funding principles, what are the funding methods that we have, and the new concepts that we learned from Mr. Dinesh also and Mr. Najmi, who has thrown his experience into light and enlightened us how we can make use, basically the cooperative society concept that you have mentioned, how we can minimize the cost for a common SME or a small-time businessman, and how we can go on to flourish within the new framework, new laws that many of us are not aware of. And Mr. Binoy, thank you for helping us to understand and look into how the government is facilitating new trade, new law, and to align, maybe it's aligning with the international law, and whereas we can pave a way for new business opportunities within UAE. Thank you, sir. Can we conclude this session? Okay, thank you. Is there any questions from the audience?
Any questions?
Any questions?
One particular question to Advocate Binoy Shashi regarding the new law which has come on the cancellation of contracts on verbal confirmation. There is a news which has heard that on verbal confirmation right now in UAE, the contract can be cancelled. Is it true or anything of that sort has come?
This law is applicable only for the DIFC laws, Dubai International Finance Center Court laws, not for the UAE court. UAE is a federal, there are two systems of judiciary in UAE. One is federal system, that is UAE court, that is in Arabic. And is common law, it is international court, Dubai. So this law is applicable to DIFC contracts.
Oh, which means any company which is registered in DIFC and if the agreement is governed by DIFC court law, the contract can be cancelled by the other party over the phone call.
Not only in the company registered in DFC, any company internationally in the world, globally, if the two parties agree that the jurisdiction is going to DFC, that agreement can be terminated by voice message.
Voice message or WhatsApp?
WhatsApp, voice, SMS, email, electronic media, or
Anything other than writing them?
other than writing. Other than writing.
Mr. Bhaskar Rao, can you throw us, you have any questions?
Any other
on
questions?
this?
Any other questions? No. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for the panel members. Advocate Binoy Shashi, the international lawyer DIFC, Indian High Court and partner Benz IBMC International Law and Compliance Center, Mr. Dinesh Kavilramani, Rigid One Projects LLC, UAE, Mr. A.S. Najmi, partner Abdul Hussain Associates UAE, and the moderator Mr. Arun Dhunwade, the vice president IBMC International. Thank you very much for a wonderful panel discussion. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on with the fourth and last panel discussion for the day. Industry panel discussion 4, Ajman SME Economy Think Big, SME to MNC, the post-Expo 2020 opportunities, SME and startup stock exchange emerging possibilities, benefiting in-country value ICV initiatives. So, may I invite the panel members, the moderator, Mr. Bhaskar Raj, Senior Journalist UAE, Mr. Pradeep Chandra, Head of Private Banking, Safa Capital, DIFC, Mr. Hussain Afkar, Director Audit and Advisory, Access Auditing, and Mr. Sajid Kumar PK, CEO and Managing Director, IBMC International, to be kindly on the stage, please. A brief introduction about our panel members. Mr. Hussain Afkar, the Director Audit and Advisory, Access Auditing. He is the Director Audit and Advisory for Access Auditing from 2011 until now, more than 8 years. Head of Auditing and Advisory includes external and internal audit, forensic audit, business valuation, feasibility study, due diligence and cost management advisory. And he is a founder and CEO of Accounsult. Is based in Colombo, Sri Lanka, is a business financial advisory, trade and investment advisory services, and he is the director of the Sri Lanka Business Council from 2015. It's an organization present in Dubai since 1991, registered with Dubai Chamber of Commerce and its link with Sri Lankan Consulate, Dubai. Most welcome, Mr. Hussain Afkar, the director, Audit and Advisory, Access Auditing. And also joining with us for the panel, Mr. Pradeep Chandra. He's a senior banker with over 35 years of experience. He has worked in reputed international and local banks, including HSBC, Standard Chartered, and Credit Suisse. His fields of expertise covers investment banking, global markets, and private banking. He obtained his undergraduate degree in engineering and followed with MBA, both from renowned institutes. He's also a CFA charter holder. Most welcome, Pradeep Chandra. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you for joining us in the panel. Over to the moderator, Mr. Bhaskar Raj. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Welcome back to another power practice session. We should say that. And lucky we have a very, very illustrious panel members with us. Those who have the hands-on experience as well as they know the market more than anyone of us. Thank you very much. Okay, our topic is Think Big. In the morning sessions and the previous sessions also, we are talking about how SMEs, the status of the SMEs here, their contribution to the GDP, then what are the challenges they face, what are the opportunities they have, and what they should do to reach the potential. But now we are thinking much more than that, think big. What they should think big. We know that most of these smaller companies started some 25 years ago, 30 years ago, and later we find that especially the Fortune 500 companies were once smaller companies. How they grew to that stature, MNCs as well as transnationals. Whether we have the potential to do that, whether we have the SMEs have the ability to do that, whether they have the wherewithals are there. There are, but only thing that they need some vision, and our panel members will now be discussing these points, how they should think big, whether is it possible to reach that level. Okay, there are certain limitations were there, but more than the limitations, what they should be doing is that the one single factor which should be driving them is the vision. To grow big, to grow beyond their borders, but with some ethics and a vision to actually contribute to the national economy. We have among us Mr. Pradeep Chandra, who has experience in actually hand-holding companies to finance as well as to grow to that. What, according to you, are the essentials of a small company growing to an MNC status or even a transnational status?
Thank you for inviting me for this panel discussion. Thank you for inviting me for this panel discussion. Firstly, I want... Hello? Hello? Firstly, I want to apologize for being underdressed. I see people around me all wearing ties and
Oh, no, not at all.
I think after the age of 61, I have a right to wear slightly more casual clothes. Yes, it's a good question, and I'll tell you why. When I first came to Dubai 31 years ago, I used to be in Emirates and BD Bank, and I used to be dealing with small SMEs in those days, selling them foreign exchange. I was in treasury, I used to sell them foreign exchange. First year I was selling them $50,000 worth of exchange per month. After about, next year it became $100,000. And after a few years it became $1 million per month. Business actually grew over a period of time for some of them because of various reasons. But more importantly, of all the companies I dealt with, more than half of them floundered. They didn't grow to that extent. Even some of them failed. And some of them had to leave the country and go back. Now, what was the secret? I wanted to know why some companies have succeeded and why some have not succeeded. Very important discussion we had in our banks, and we used to figure out why is the reason. And some of the clients who succeeded to such an extent, they are now my private banking clients. They are managing their personal wealth and managing their private equity investments and managing their real estate. So they become really big over the last so many years. And one common ingredient for all the successful people is strong ethics. If you need to think big, if you want to become big, if you want to succeed over a long term, do not cut corners, please. You have to have strong ethics, follow your heart, follow your clean heart, but do not use shortcut methods to make quick money. That will not lead in the long term to be successful. So for me, I think the most important ingredient to be successful is to have a strong corporate governance and ethical standards and values by doing both personally and in business.
Thank you, Mr. Hussain. So you also have a strong background in that one and advising many companies like those who have grown as MNCs like that also. One company I remember in Sri Lanka is Singer. Many people still don't know it's a Singer, that a sewing machine company is a Sri Lankan company. Sri Lankan company, it's a multinational. It is a household name everywhere. In India also we can see that. But it is a Sri Lankan company. So it has grown to that. What was the reason? And do you agree with him about that ethical reasons as well as that?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I definitely agree because if you take Singer as an example, okay, it was top driven because the chairman was a role model. Okay, his name is Ema Kamarasuriya. He is a chartered accountant by profession and a marketeer. Okay, he does ethically and the best practice whatever he can put in. Okay, so people who are working under him, really admired his way of doing things. Okay, and they also followed the same footstep. As well as this gave the growth to the company. Okay, so even if he is not there, things were happening very smoothly because there were no issues at all, or you can say less issues. Okay, but it went very fine. Now, for example, he used to shuffle the positions to show how important another position is. Another chartered accountant, who is my colleague, he was a finance manager. He was asked to do the marketing manager's job because he should not think, the finance manager's job is important. The marketing manager's job is not important and all those things. So when he went to the marketing manager's post, then only he knew how much, things he has to do and how much, problems he has to face in the market and how, things has to be done. So in that way, he is to really plan the business and he is to do, and this is one of the success of Singer Sri Lanka.
Okay, Mr. Sajid Kumar, what according to is the essential? One company should actually, especially a small company, as a small scale industry or whatever small company, to actually to grow that level. Is the vision alone or what else does there?
The practical experience is one of the key important element on that. As even though the startup to MNC, if you see that curve, if we follow from that the industry level the performance and reaching to that, or academic level performance to reach that. The curve fastest is the industry level reaching to that experience in the industry and developing from the industry, even though we know that the gap between the academic and the industry, the performances. So at present in the education itself, a lot of changes happened. Now the academic and industry, it's much closer now. So here, whenever we are getting the opportunity and utilizing that, that is the most important with their experience. Then we can able to reach that. So GCC countries is having that opportunity at present. So this one economical transition stage is happening from the oil and gas to non-oil sector, non-oil economy. So this is the opportunities coming up from the oil and gas sector. We can see that in the stock exchange, the stock market, GCC stock market. So 5-6 sectors actively coming into that. But non-oil sector like Indian market, just see that 36 plus sectors are there performing very well. So that opportunities are coming up. So having the updates from the market or new things, the knowledge, creating the knowledge from the industry, that is most important. If we are starting with the startup also, this is the time where we can reach to the MNC level.
Okay, Mr. Pradeep Chandra, what you say is that here we find that companies start a smaller in a startup company or something like that now. They sometimes deviate from their core, what's called the qualification, core business, and sometimes they enter other markets. Sometimes a kind of a diversification. Very, very, very foolishly they do that. And also at the same time we find that if a company is successful, they make money, surplus is there. Usually there is a tendency to siphon off the profit or the surplus to other unproductive businesses, rather than having a vision to grow and to fund those expansion plans. What is guiding? Is it a lack of corporate governance or is it some other principles?
Yes, you're right. It is a lack of, let's say, corporate governance. And that reminds me of one saying that if you give too much power to somebody, they will take wrong decisions. And that works for companies, that works for SMEs, that works for large companies, that works for governments, that works for countries. So democratic decision making is very, very important. The moment you have a promoter, and most SMEs are being run by promoters, individual promoters, they don't have any restrictions on decision making. They have their own, they don't listen.
Some gut feeling sometimes.
They have gut feeling. As a result, they spot an opportunity. They think it's going to be the next big thing. They forget about their core business and invest a lot of their money into that new so-called opportunity. But they don't realize they don't have the skills, the wherewithal, or even the required capital to invest in the new opportunities. And the new opportunities are generally quite speculative. And when there are speculative investments made, it can lead to substantial erosion of wealth. And that destroys the growth potential of their existing core business. So it's very important for a promoter to be very, very disciplined on what their core
Focused.
business is, what the focus is, what their core business is. But they have to also identify what business they are in. It should not make it so narrow that they cannot exploit opportunities which are available in the same industry they are operating in. For example, let's say a small finance company, if they focus only on lending, only on, let's say, private banking, then they will not be able to take advantage of opportunities in related industries. So it has to be very, very carefully designed as to what industry they are in. They have to take advantage of opportunities which can be thrown up by new technology, by new markets, by new regulations, but the core business should remain the same.
Mr. Hussain, what is your experience?
Just add something to that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to.
Because, now we have seen a lot of financial statements. In that, we used to see the activities. For example, they start as like a media servicing company. But suddenly you will see the major revenue, whatever they have earned, is doing some export business or some other trading business. So we used to question, because your activity is something to do with service, so why are you doing these things? No, we'll have to do these things, otherwise, now this media service is not doing much, so we'll have to do this. Then I said, why don't you go and change your activity? Okay, so how, they just want to jump whenever they get an opportunity. They are not aligned and focused. and not having a long-term thinking like. It is a short-term gain, wherever they can make, they try to make something out of that.
But can we really blame them, because it is kind of a diversification or something like that, no, for diversification of their activities, maybe forward integration or backward integration or something, maybe exploring new markets.
Yeah, but from the regulator's point of view, you have said you will be a media consultant or a media servicing company. Okay, so if you take a license, okay, you should do that. Okay, or something related to that you can do. But if you completely do something else, like, export of business or import of something, or, being an agent for some other, okay, companies, then you are deviating from your activity.
And
so this is purely a deviation and a violation of the activity.
Ultimately, they will remain as the smaller companies where they started.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
So adding to that, the diversification, that is most important. But how to do that? The method of diversification, disciplined diversification, that is what we need to focus. So from
With the professional help.
Professional help, yeah. 2008, if we are, taking that to the case studies, from 2004 onwards, people were jumping for the business development or marketing activities. Then they found that something is not, in right way going. Then they have made a system, their own system. They have made, their comfortably. Based on that, they have done a system on that. Then they found that this is not related to the regulation of the country. So this is why a lot of companies closed down during that 2008 and all. So here again, what we need to indicate. So whenever they do that, these 3 steps are there. Even though the small company or MNC companies, if they are changing or they are doing the diversification, first of all, they need to follow the legal and compliance matter. Then they need to make a system on that. So on regulation, they need to make a system. Then go to the market. Then sky's the limit. So this is what I need to add into that.
Okay, they essentially, as we said, is that the vision, but at the same time, they should actually seek professional help. Many of the smaller companies, they don't think that they need that support or a kind of a study. They won't even do a market study or even due diligence before they enter a new market or something like that. And the feasibility study is not that. And they think that it is a wastage of money to consultants, especially not necessarily that they should go to the Big Four or others, but at least they should go to professional services. So what do you say? That
Yeah,
they should
now that is the Asian mentality, because we have a lot of, like European companies, okay, German, French, okay, Italy, Spain and all. They always put the, horse first, then the cart. Okay, they tell us, can you do a study? Can you do a feasibility? Can you do a research? Okay, based on that, they will, do the next step. But as the Asian businessmen, they try. Okay, when they fail, they come to us and say, see, I have gone wrong in this. Can you please help me? Okay, I need these numbers to put in my balance sheet and the income statement and all those things. So they have tried, they failed, then they came. So this is something which is not a correct approach. They should have planned, like you said, spend some money for the research and all those things. Then they should have ventured out in a proper way.
What about family-owned businesses? Sometimes the business, the owner himself or the founder who must have started a company thinking that, no, this is my big company or something like that. No, maybe delegation is not there. They are not delegating powers. They are not even actually, seeking their own people. Either they should appoint their own professionally qualified people to do that. That delegation is not there many a times.
Yeah. You hit the nail properly, because this is something which is putting the company every day at the same level. Because the owner, whatever the designation he has, either he call him, CMD or, proprietor, whatever it is, he keeps everything under his, control. He is the sole signatory, he is the, sole, authorization for everything. So in case if we just go to India or some other country for a business purpose or some family matter, the company is on a standstill, because he has not delegated anything. Because he is having the fear, next in line, the CEO or the JM, if I give it to him, he can take over my business and one day I will be nowhere. Because I have developed this company for last 10 years, I have bought up, and I don't want to give it to a stranger who is not a family member. So this is something which is really pulling, the business, as well as that's why you have a lot of, Okay, now we talk about 70%, 90%, 85% SMEs, which is not growing. One of the main problem is this.
And the stakeholding also sometimes. For example, in India, we can see the Tata Group, the Tata Sons, the holding company, they have only 6% stake in many of those companies. But still, as a core company, it is still the house of Tatas. So they have that there, actually, as you said, Mr. Pradeep Chandra, the corporate governance principles drive them.
Yes, corporate governance is very, very important for growth. I mean, you can, from a SME level, from X, you can go to 2X, 3X size. But if you want to go to 10X or 100X, you cannot do it with the proper corporate governance. And like my colleague was saying here, delegation of authority, delegation of power. But coming back to delegation, you can't delegate power to unqualified or incompetent people.
Yeah.
So you must hire good quality staff to grow your business. You can, and if you always control decision making with your hands, you'll not be able to attract good quality people. So to attract good quality people, you must start delegating. And if you and it's a chicken and eggs position. If you start delegating, then you start to attract good quality people. And you need those good quality people to give you that bandwidth, that professional expertise to grow the business into different areas, into different markets, but within the same business arena you focus on.
In fact, that calls for HR policy, which they have. That,
Yes, very important. HR policy is more and more important because I've noticed in the environment we have in that some of the companies do not attract the best talent or they don't have the policies in place to attract good people. And because of that, the growth is stymied. The growth is reduced.
I'll just add something to that, because there are people who have joined on a professional level and they have seen how the things are happening inside the company. Then they used to see, this is not the company I want to work. So what they do is they make a personal decision and they exit. This is another problem with the SMEs.
So you have to not only attract but also retain.
Yeah, that's, many companies, multinational companies, when they lose a good candidate, a senior employee or something like that, there used to be an exit interview. Exit interview, they will ask, why you are leaving this company. Is there any reason? Or is just because your line manager is not giving you life miserable or something like that? No. So then they actually, all well-meaning companies should be doing that. So HR policy is the core of that one. So that's another thing. Okay, then can you show me some examples of those companies, local companies who have grown to this stature?
Like I was telling you, mostly these European companies, they come here, they do a lot of, like a startup as a branch company. They don't come up with the full operation. They just come to a place like DMCC, take a license, they have a small office, then they venture out everything and see there's a potential here. Then they, gradually bring their staff expertise, from the Europe, and get the other support staff and everyone from the, Asian continent. This is how they are doing. So we have seen a lot of, especially the European setup, they do it in a way very systematically, say like, 3 to 5 years time, either they grow or they exit from here.
Okay, as you said, you have been advising these companies. Yeah. Some question?
You have to hold the mic closer.
Okay, one is about, there are growth plans are there, but many times we find that even though the growth plans are there, the essentials to do that, that means the wherewithals to find the to funding for that one. So for that, they will have to tap the capital market or innovative funding. We have been talking about innovative funding methods, tools, etc. At the same time, stock exchanges, crowdfunding, and all those things. Do you advise them to go for that first or the business strategy first?
Of course, business strategy is the most important requirement to get quality investment and quality investors into your company.
Yeah.
I
think they can't hear. No,
if you don't have a good business strategy, then you may attract funding, but either at a very high cost or from not so professional investors. So to get good quality investors who will actually advise you on growth plans as well, you must have a proper business strategy. And because people invest in growth plans, they invest in individuals, they invest in growth plans. Otherwise, it will be difficult to raise funding. Crowdfunding was important a couple of years ago. It has not really got traction last couple of years. Maybe it'll come back in a new avatar, a new format. But right now, crowdfunding has not been extremely beneficial to SMEs who want to raise funding.
Okay, but we also see that the private equity industry, that private equity, we find that they are not actually getting good projects to enter. Is it true?
Yes, it is true because there is again a chicken and egg. I keep coming back to that. Private equity invests in companies which are of a certain size, or have a certain track record, and have certain growth potential. And the companies do not meet the criteria that are currently available. Either they are very small, or they are in distressed condition, or they don't have a proper business plan to grow. That's why the private investors are reluctant to invest in those companies.
What is your experience in that case? Why these private equities are not even actually welcome by SMEs?
Well, before that, you were asking about the practices in the family owned
family-owned
business and all.
businesses.
So Paris Gallery is the best option locally. We can see that how they grown from the private family and to the public. They are coming to that. So huge changes are coming up, and Dubai Chamber were honoring for that. The growth they have taken. Coming to think big. So from the startup to the MNC. So this is the opportunity what we all are going to get it from the GCC or UAE region. So how it's going to happen? Starting a business with a partnership. Okay. Then role model in India, we knows that if we are starting as a startup, it is coming as an accelerator, then into that as a formulating a company, private limited company, and making as a public limited company into listing and international listing. So this is a growth path is there very much clear on that. So what we need to think on big way, this is what is going to happen here. So we have that kind of expertise, knowledge, everything from India. That's why India is taking a vital role for the growth of this economy into non-oil sector. The private wealth, or actually they were mentioning about that, or if we say that the private equity, if it is coming, well, before that, people need working capital. Now, what is the challenge is going on that, getting the real working capital and the fund flow to making into the market. Even the private equity investing to GCC market currently, this is the big question, where they are going to invest into that, how to invest into that. So diversification, again, the economy wise, it's coming up. So India is also coming in. The private sector is more important in India for investing. So how to invest into that private, high risk, but there is no guarantee. So we are getting a lot of protected strategies. So 100% protected strategies are back in India. So that tools, last panel also discussing on that. So that tool, financial tools we need to adopt. So this is what the challenging economy is coming up. So coming to that investments, even the partnership investment also, coming to a big challenging factor. So people, if they investor, they are selecting the mutual funds or private equity is coming to that registered model, that is from the ADGM or DAFC registered fund, that is giving more control, more protection into that, rather than directly pumping the money to the market.
You have been a vocal advocate of SME exchanges in your earlier sessions also last year, all the meetings also you have been talking about that. What is the status of that and why is that an SME exchange is not coming into a reality here?
Right, so we had a detailed discussion about, starting up SME stock exchange. So because, a lot of private companies are there, but the challenges 4951, again, that the legal status of the company, then how to enter into that. And most of them leading companies are family owned business. So now it is going to that a real market picture. Then 2016 onwards, we were trying to do something and this is a 3 years project. So now we entered into SME economy concept. So what we have done to make mature the market, so we need to give the awareness, the best practice from India, if we say, and that well before regulation, the awareness is most important. So how to give that the awareness, proper awareness to the public? Then we have created UAE-INDIA B2B portal. So portal, how it will come up now, so the regulated companies or structured companies only listing in that portal. So that is, maybe here economic department control or MCA back in India, ROC controlled companies are coming up and they are matching together. Then UAE-INDIA B2B center, what we have started. Third, we have started UAE-INDIA Business Festival. This is the third year. So 2 years completed for giving the setup, awareness, everything to the public. Then only this year, we have launched SME Economy Platform. So SME Economy Platform, we have adopted the concept of where back in US or Europe, they have adopted in 2008, the financial downturn, global financial downturn happened. They have taken the crowdfunding strategy and SME empowerment for strengthening their GDP. The same concept we have studied and our team worked on that and in a redefined model. So we have started this SME economy. So we cannot start the direct, the crowdfunding strategies that should come under central bank, and there is no proper law into that, and DAFC cannot able to take it into the ground level because we have, the low, middle, and upper class companies. So we need to, economy means we need to support to entire class. So after studying everything, we have taken redefined e-commerce strategy for crowdfunding instead of crowdfunding. So public can able to buy and sell, they can make a profit by associating with the business class. So this is what one part we have done. The another part, due to this, the changing scenario, the economical scenario, so the trading companies, they are facing some, challenges, that is identifying fund or working capital, identifying business. Then after that, they delay how to manage from their clients. So these things, how to mitigate those kind of challenges or risks. So we are providing a clear solution into that SME economy. But this is the pre-stock exchange activity, if you say. So this will give an indication how to step in for the SME stock exchange.
This will eventually lead to the reality coming.
Yeah, I just want to add something.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a very interesting idea. It is something very similar to LinkedIn, for example, for jobs.
Yes.
Companies look for candidates, candidates look for jobs in companies, so it's a portal which brings both together. Similarly, a portal can be set up to investors and businesses which require funding to come together and exchange their details.
This is a fantastic idea which he is now
Yes.
floating.
Which
Yeah.
is a precursor to a proper SME exchange. Excellent.
I'll also add something from the regulator's point of view, because there's a seller and a buyer and a market. Okay, but there should be, the numbers should be, very transparent. Because no one should, end of the day, become a victim. Because otherwise, the seller will put some numbers, based on that, the buyer will buy, but when he really see, the numbers are not correct, so this is something which the regulation point of view, the auditing and all those things has to be properly done, and it has to be a mandatory requirement.
Yeah.
That makes the importance of CA firms, their ethical standards should start from the CA firms themselves. They should be strong enough to give accurate and proper numbers. We've seen instances where some of the firms have been less than accurate about their audited balance sheets, but in India and elsewhere as well.
Of course, you
so
cannot
the,
actually
so the responsibility is also on the CA firms who do the auditing to make sure the numbers projected for the public are correct.
The statutory auditing is no more mandatory here.
It depends on the, there is an article, in the commercial companies law, but it is not really enforced. But if you take certain free zones, they enforce that one. Now, especially DMCC, they have a deadline. Now, if it is 31st December, by 31st March, you should give, Otherwise, your portal will have a 5,000 fine, and you will have a problem for your renewal of license. Same thing with Jebel Ali free zone, Dubai airport free zones, and all those things. But the mainland is little bit, relaxed. Still, they are not enforced a very tight-fisted, way of implementing.
But one good thing is that after the implementation of VAT, it has almost become by de facto important for them to actually have an audited report.
Yes, because what happened is now, although the other laws are not, like enforced so much, okay, the VAT law, prior to that, there was a tax procedures law was there. Everyone has to maintain proper set of books. Everyone has to keep all the record, whether you pay VAT or not, okay, it is mandatory, and all those things were there. So therefore, it has started in a very, okay, to say that, up to that point, it was more of a under-regulated. Now with the VAT law, as well as prior to that, the tax procedures law, okay, number 7 of 2017, that has given a bit of a, okay, tight regulatory requirement. Now we have seen a lot of people have been fined. They say like, we don't have to pay VAT, therefore we didn't keep. They say, no, that is not the requirement. Whether you pay VAT or not is not requirement. As per the procedures law, you should maintain the record. We will come and check and we will say whether you are supposed to pay or not supposed to pay. So it is up to them to decide on that.
Yes, Mr.
Adding to
Yeah.
that, so what we are trying to do rather than that, filing the one-time the audited financial statements, along with the SME economy, we are trying to list rating system in SME companies. So how we are planning to do that? This auditor finance is only one, point only when we are taking the checklist. But the corporate governance, corporate, the policies, so their own policies for the system first, ISO kind of things. And again, it is coming that the other system, what they are following up, the ISO for the management or business or the IT. So different system categories if they are following. So we are taking that system for the rating purpose. So that is most important what, rather than, that is important. And the Basel III and Basel IV, whenever it is coming, banking system will be thorough into that, no doubt on that. And VAT or GST, if it is there, they cannot supersede into that. That is locked. But no, apart from that, so that is leading for the good financial report. Definitely that will be there. So if quarterly or half yearly or yearly, if you're considering that, yearly is enough. But this mechanism, monthly, not even quarterly, monthly, that policy, how they are following, that is important. What we are also suggesting, we are going to put a suggestion to that SME companies, this checklist, if they are following, the rating also we can, from the public, this is the public is going to take up that company in which level. So that is what the private sector we are trying to
So
do.
in such a scenario, what will be the methodology for a system,
Yeah,
for
this
a
is
rating
what,
system?
absolutely the practical system what we are trying to adopt into that. So we know that the rating system, the S&P and how they are doing into that. We cannot follow that system for the SME company or the beginning stage of the market. So here, best practices, best policies, best controls, we are trying to advise them first and follow that strategy. The, you know very well about that, the different chamber of commerces, they are taking different kind of rating system. They have started, Dubai chamber also started the SME rating system, something. So this is practically can lead into that the MNC companies, in future, MNC companies, that rating system.
Okay. And about the branding, actually now, some of this local brands, we don't have many homegrown brands like that now. There is essential that there should be a homegrown brand, then they actually build around that one, and then they just go beyond that one. Then it is one way of actually getting into the international markets.
Branding is, of course, without saying, is very, very important. It's the most, like you said, most underestimated asset of a company here. But branding comes with a certain period of time. You have to invest money in growing the market first, growing the product first, growing in the company's value system first. So that gives the whole brand for the company as well as for the product. And it takes a bit of time. So, but most companies here have a short-term approach. But once you have a vision, a long-term approach, and a focused business strategy, then branding becomes second nature. Then it follows automatically.
How about partnering and collaboration with market leaders so that they can grow together?
There are pros and cons of collaborating with market
They are
leaders.
the stakeholders as well as the
Yes.
control.
Yes, of course. I mean, it depends upon what kind of arrangement you can have in the partnership and what kind of value system the partnership has, the bigger partner has. If you remain a small partner, then you cannot become big.
They are fearful of the cannibalizing other things, so that's the thing.
Yes, and there are instances where the big partners swallow the smaller partners and, you disappear. So that, of course, you have to weigh the pros and cons. You'll trust the other party.
Yes.
It a lot depends upon trust, the agreements, and which markets you are in.
Yes, Mr. Hussain, you are also telling about the trust element of this one now. That is absent now, or is it that?
No, it is actually the individual's perception. For example, if he thinks that, this is my business, I have bought up for last 10 years, I don't want to give it to someone who is not, reliable, so he is looking from a very narrow angle. But if he has, like my colleague said, a proper system where, a policy, a procedure, a system put in, on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis, you review, some sort of a hierarchy system, a system which works even without the, the board or the chairman or whoever, then it will have a very smooth, progress. Otherwise, with this narrow mind, it is very difficult because it is more of a suspicious nature. Whether, this man will, play out and become a competitor for me, or he will run away with my clients or customers. So that is going to, it's a cancer.
So which means if you want to think big, you should have a large heart also.
Exactly.
One more thing, adding to that, when we are thinking big picture in front of us, don't think about your partner to your business. Think about investor to your business. So that is coming in a thinking bigger level. So normally we were having that, the 30 years, 40 years, well experienced or, well track record companies are here. And if they are taking one new partner into that, definitely he will start digging from the day one onwards what was happened, and it is rotating to that, and a lot of conflicts are starting into that, and that is going to the bad situation. So what we are suggesting into that to avoid such a situation, so the angel funds from on the system is there, and even the private equity, what we were also saying, what they want, if you are professional, if you can run the business properly, if you can generate a profit, give a share to that. So that is a role model what we are adopting in SME economy. So think big into that level where don't get into trouble with your partner. You find out the real investors into that, your business, and give proper return. Otherwise, what will happen? Managing business, managing the partner is a tedious task on that. So this is what I have to think big into that.
I'll also just add, something to that. There are businessmen, they think in a, way that, my business I will take only up to 10 or 20 years. After that, I will sell off. So yesterday we had a discussion in Capital Club in DIFC, regarding the valuation. So we were discussing about 8 points, how to sell, when to sell, and how to value the, the magic number and all those things. Then finally, one person came up and said, you missed one important point. What if he die in the business without doing anything? Because he don't have any plan, to share with other one, to grow. He himself was thinking that, after 10 years I will sell and I will take encash the money and I will walk out. On the 9th year, he passed away.
But essentially, then companies are actually, body corporates. It is actually an individual corporate.
Most SMEs would be single man, one man shows.
Huh.
So there they have a problem like my colleague mentioned about
The succession
passing away,
also,
succession
yeah.
planning and all that. I have one solution for that. We offer something called key man insurance. If the key person of the company passes away and is insured for key man insurance, then the company's family members or the company's employees get a share of the insurance amount. So that can take care of eventualities where the main stakeholder prematurely passes away.
That's a good point which I got it from him.
Yes, it is. The key man insurance is there.
Because what happens is like, we have companies where the sole owner or the chairman, he keeps everything with him and he passed away. Now even a check, is not accepted by the bank with another signature.
And why essentially they are not doing is that because the premium for a key man insurance is very high. Very high. That depends on the assets under management or the size of the company.
Or the health of the individual.
Health of the individual, I know that now. Yeah, health of the individual is also very, very important, because if an investor has to actually invest in a company, they should look at the managers or the CEO's health. I remember sometime back when the Reliance Group, Anil Ambani, when he was having a roadshow in the US, Mr. Pradeep Chandra, you must remember that, no? One of the investing companies, they said, how can an investor trust your company when you yourself is not fit? So that actually, made him, to go for, fitness.
Marathon.
Then he started marathoning after that. Okay, then we all talk about Expo 2020 opportunities. Is Expo 2020 giving opportunity for the homegrown companies to go multinationals or the growth potential?
Definitely, Expo 2020 will be the backbone of UAE for starting the developments of GCC in non-oil sector. So how it is going to happen? So we are going to get a lot of opportunities. So we were having that kind of experience from UAE, and we are going to get real investors and real business partners with a different focus. So that means if we have the wealth into that to run or pumping the capital, the other person might have the technology into within that merger is happening now. So solar, for example, solar energy. So people are having that kind of infrastructure here, and fund also, but they don't know the know-how. They need to get it. So this happened recently. So the German company also came and joined with them, and it is going to happen. So such opportunities are coming into that. Again, the fund houses are also looking for that. What are opportunities coming up in UAE? So outside fund houses. So they want to invest. Even though the startup, we are happy to invest into that startup companies. So, but where is the best model? So how to identify that? Now, lot of, the incubators started the Emirate-wise. You can see that, the Dubai and all started into that. So incubators, accelerators, startups is coming into that and leading the new developments in the governing system. So where 100% ownership is also started giving into that in land business. That will create the UAE to a next level. So, but how to identify it? The artificial intelligence is most important. So coming to that UAE, all opportunities are coming up, but how to make it faster? So this is what especially Dubai is also looking for that. So artificial intelligence or IoT or fintech. So this is all key elements, key tools to start a company. Okay, I know how to do that, starting the business industry or manufacturing in a normal mode. But you have to think 100 people are coming with the smart ideas. Whether if your production is coming out later 1 year, so the smart people are coming and within a month's time they are starting the business. So it is very much crucial also, thinking into that, we are getting that kind of opportunity from Expo 2020 to start a business, for a joint ventures, for getting the funding and growing to the MNC level. This is what exported it.
Yes, you are right. Actually, what we see that now the fund houses are actually waiting for ideas. There are any number of the fund is not a paucity of funds, but only thing that they are looking for ideas. As they said, an idea can change their life. They say that they're all waiting for a new idea. That is why we see that even small startup companies with a new app or something that they just fund in. That is unimaginable. The quantity of funds they actually put in for example, that propertyfinder.com, actually some 10% of it was actually taken for about 20 million dirhams. So that the ideas, we have to have only ideas, but the fund is available there. Don't you think so?
But also, I think, coming back to Expo 2020's potential, the point is well made that it is going to be a big opportunity. For all SMEs, they need a break. They need the next big wave to catch.
Yeah.
I think this Expo the high seas, into the really high level of the MNC kind of size.
So it is a great opportunity for them to
Yeah.
just tap it.
And we should not forget, the past experiences, like, from Shanghai or from Milan or from Astana or from, South Korea, okay. So from there, they can learn a lot of things, okay. Now, when you start this Expo 2020, a lot of infrastructure development came up, okay. Then the job opportunities were there. Then the real estate market was coming up. So like that, there are a lot of other services, okay, restaurants, hotels, everything is also benefiting. Now, it can happen in Dubai, but even in Ajman, they can get an advantage. How? Okay, if an investor come there, and if he, see there's potential, and if he try to get some consultant or whoever to support them, and if they say, okay, the best place you can start a business in Ajman Free Zone, they have all those facilities. So automatically, okay, they are promoting Ajman also, okay, to a business, okay, a man who is coming to a expo which is in Dubai.
You are right, the spillover effect is much more than they can imagine.
There's
into
a
that.
multiple effect is there.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and experience. I know you must be having some questions to ask them about that. Or no, you want to grow your own thing. Thank you very much. Mr. Ramesh? Yes. I don't just. Yes, we can.
The UAE government is predicting or forecasting that 25 million visitors are expected for the Expo 2020 over the 6 months.
6 months
running.
period, yeah.
Even assuming only 60% of that number comes true, that would be a good 15 million people. And somebody told me that even if 2% of those people who come here, I mean, almost everybody would fall in love with this country, the quality of life here, the infrastructure, the whole lot. But even if 2% decide to stay on permanently for the longer term, that's a good 300,000 people. And that would provide a great boost. Number one, relief for the real estate market. It's down in the dumps now, rental as well as resale. And consumer industry, retail would benefit to a great extent. What would be your take on that? Are these possible?
Yeah, say like first thing is I don't want you to think in a pessimistic manner because we are in UAE. It can exceed 25 million.
It was not pessimistic, actually, realistic he was telling about.
No, because 25, okay, is a number which they have come up, okay, which they can easily achieve. Because now itself, Emirates Airline has come up with a wonderful plan. Every person who is passing Dubai, okay, will walk into the expo. Okay, so don't underestimate. It will be more than 25 million. Just like the VAT, okay, they were planning for 12 billion, they went and collected 27 billion. Second year they are planning for 20 billion, okay, the DG has said, don't worry, I will get 35 billion. Okay, so the numbers are very low. Second thing is, like you correctly said, there are 25 million, okay, visitors, 195 countries are getting participated here, okay, and if you take a small percentage, definitely, okay, there will be a big impact. That is what the government want, okay, as a startup, as well as some sort of a, okay, thing which, because they are spending so much of money and time and everything, okay, because they want to develop, okay, and in a different way. Okay, so
that is rightly, they reserved almost 35% of the projects for SMEs.
That's true.
Yeah.
SMEs have got a big boost and will continue to get a big boost from the Expo 2020 because the government has reserved certain contracts only for SME sector.
So let's hope that.
Adding to that Expo 2020,
Yeah.
and he was mentioning about the past experience we need to consider of Milan or Shanghai and all. The speciality of the UAE Expo 2020, what we are seeing that this is the right time when the economical transition stage is happening. So this is the right time when people can able to start with that opportunity. Not on the top it's happened, so from the bottom. So this will be the added advantage for all of us. And actually about Mr. Ramesh's question, he was asking positively if 2%, they are retaining here, so they want to start, residing from here or doing the business and all. The Ajman and the near Emirates, they are going to get immediate benefit on that. So this is what we need to focus into that. From Ajman Emirate, why we are here, why we are conducting all these things, and why we are seeking support from the authorities of Ajman. So such, even though we will get it that recurrence from the people, how they can able to sustain in this economy. So instead of doing the business in Dubai and taking that the same kind of service from Ajman Emirates and living from here and cost taking down, that will be the best option where people can also think of that.
That
And
is
IBMC is
exactly-
happy to support for that.
Yes, that is exactly, even after the 6 months expo, they have already planned that legacy, that the 3 verticals they have planned, which is going to have sustained growth later on, that's why.
So sustainable development goals, practices, even though UN practices are also started following in the market. So definitely that will be supportive measure for.
So let's be very
outside.
hopeful that we are going
We have
to
to
see
think
lots of.
big
think
way.
big
Yeah,
and,
definitely from Ajman especially.
and only big growth is awaiting them.
Right, exactly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank
all.
you, sir.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Sure.
Yeah, so for the time being, the government has said no to that, but it can be 7.5%, not 10% at once, okay? Because they have a method of going step by step. Now, if you take the excise tax, okay, they started with the cigarette, carbonated drink, okay, and the energy drink. Now, after 2 years, they came back and said, we want to expand the horizon, okay, and we will catch all the sweetener added, okay, drinks and the dissolvables like Tang and all those things. Now after 2 years you can see they will slowly catch the chocolates. So this is a step-by-step method. So when it comes to the VAT also, they won't at once jump into 10. Okay, after some time they might go to 7.5%.
Thank you.
So we have started VAT information desk also with the support of Mr. Harpreet Singh. And I hope that people can avail that support as well.
That's okay, good. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. That was our number 4 panel. Thank you very much, moderator Mr. Bhaskar Raj, Senior Journalist UAE, Mr. Pradeep Chandra, Head of Private Banking, Safa Capital DIFC, Mr. Hussain Akhtar, the Director Audit and Advisory Access Auditing, and Mr. Sajid Kumar PK, the Managing Director and CEO, IBMC International. Thank you very much for the wonderful discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a short break for business networking and tea coffee. Then we will move on to the seminar session. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back. And we will continue the public seminar session of IBMC UAE-INDIA Business First, the third session in Ajman Emirate. And I request Mr. Sajid Kumar PK, CEO and MD of IBMC Global Networks, to start the session with the presentation of SME Economy, the UAE project. Please welcome.
Very good evening to all of you. I just want to give an overview of SME Economy, the project IBMC launched in Dubai and Sharjah, and today announcing for Ajman companies. This side. SME Economy for UAE. We have created a website for companies. As a complimentary level, they can register with us and they can start using the application. The www.smeconomy-uae.com. For public, we have created mobile app. They can download SME Economy and they can also start using into that. So basically, SME Economy focused for SME empowerment with a redefined e-commerce. As I indicated, in 2008, when global financial downturn happened, the US, Europe followed two practices to strengthen SME companies and also adopting crowdfunding. Considering the legal structure in GCC countries, especially in UAE, we have taken as a redefined e-commerce model. We'll support for crowdfunding and SME trading and manufacturing empowerment, SME business empowerment for strengthening SME companies across UAE. So we have given that redefined customer benefits in the application, redefined insurance protection for SME companies, and redefined factoring facility for SME companies. This SME Economy, the stakeholders including the licensing departments, government departments, chamber of commerce, free zone authorities, payment gateway providers, general public, multinational companies, large corporate, banks, insurance companies, factoring, financial institutions, and small, medium enterprises. So here, what we are trying to make a new ecosystem across UAE by taking that legal action plans and legal structure, who all are having the legal license to run a company, even though the manufacturing company or supplier activities or general trading company, or even though the end users. And the general public, they can come who all are having the visa in UAE. So we have classified as 3 categories on trade volume basis, a single trade volume basis. The single trade volume is a lower level starting from 10,000 dirhams to 500,000 dirhams. So per transaction basis. The second category is coming single transaction or single trading value of 500,000 dirhams to 5 million dirhams. Third category, the higher end category, trade value 5 million, between 5 million and 100 million dirhams. From the public level, how it's happening, the crowdfunding, redefined crowdfunding we have made into e-commerce, redefined e-commerce platform. So e-commerce trading, we know that buying and selling activities. Crowdfunding is coming into the central bank activities. So redefined e-commerce, how it's happening, public can buy and give back that product to the same company at a discounted value. So where the public is getting a profit when they are doing buying and selling. So whenever they are buying a product, selling to the same company only, there is no any other buyer is coming. So here the relationship between the public and the company. So here one example is there, one product, if it is worth 1,000 dirhams, where the general trading company is providing to their clients, if they are giving a 10% discounted rate to the public, why they are giving the discount to the public? And here they are getting a future settlement date, that cushioning, that means 1 month or 2 months time, the settlement date is coming 1 or 2 months after 1 or 2 months time. So the business class or the company is getting that 2 months as cushioning, and this fund will be utilized for LC purpose from the banks. So here example is showing that one client is buying from one general trading company or Sme Economy company. How it's happening, the general public can use IBMC Sme Economy mobile app. They can buy through that, they can transfer the fund through our platform, and platform is directly connected with Dubai Trade Payment Portal. So Dubai Trade Payment Portal is linked with almost all major banks, Visa, MasterCards and e-dirham cards. So public can able to access, transfer the fund to the respective bank accounts, the special purpose account, and that the receipt and the trade details, the invoice and trade history, including VAT recorded statement, will be passing on to the general public. So the client is buying, whenever they are buying, they can transfer the fund through the Dubai Trade platform using Sme Economy IBMC platform. Then it is going to this special purpose account for this particularly open for the trade. Not transferring directly to the general bank account of the SME company. So this is some kind of the protection the client is getting from these procedures. What is happening? The client is looking for the financial benefit only. Client does not want any product. So in this case, the SME company is buying back from the client the same product at the market value. So that means the company is buying back from the client at the rate of 1,000 dirhams. So the sale is happening to the same company at 1,000 dirhams. Client is purchasing at 900 dirhams and selling at 1,000 dirhams. This transaction is recording the settlement of the future date. The future settlement date will be there. Future settlement date may be 1 month or 2 months based on the requirement of the company. So this is what one side the redefined e-commerce is happening to replace the crowdfunding. On the other side, SME economy, how they are getting benefit, the empowering SME economy. The SME companies, two challenges mainly they are facing to get the business, to get the working capital. Then third thing, after delivering the product, they need to go, certain companies are there for delaying their payments. So that is making some kind of, the business activity stuck. To avoid such a situation, what we are doing, we are empowering SME companies. So what we are asking that if they are ready for doing the professional, long-term business in this country, UAE, one factor replacing the e-commerce trading platform, we can source fund for the company. And on the other side, if any delay is happening from their clients on payment, two components we have added into that. One is factoring facility. Factoring facility, this is if the client is valuable to that trading company and client is asking further delay on payment or the making some more extension for payment, the factoring facility can support the trading company by paying in advance to the parties. The insurance protection, trade credit insurance protection is coming up. All major insurance companies are doing that. Here, what we are trying to do that, the new system, instead of 5 million and above that category, they have at present mentioned the averaging system. So that's why we have taken into 3 categories. So 10,000 dirhams to 100 million dirhams. So these 3 categories trade volume will average, and that will be supportive for insurance companies. Here what is happening, based on the e-commerce platform performance, taking that buying and selling transactions, we are giving the LC, letter of credit facility, to the distributor or supplier. Then distributor or supplier will give the product to the company. Company will provide to the respective client. If respective client is giving on time, it will be very much easier for completing the transaction. If they are not providing on time, then factoring and insurance will take place. So this is the exact the diagram. It will shows all transactions. The client is using IBMC Sme Economy Platform and transferring the fund. After getting the fund credited into the bank account, bank is giving the LC to the distribution company or supplier. Based on the LC, the distributor or supplier is giving the product to the company, company is giving to their client. The 30 days here, transaction period is 30 days. So client is asking 30 days credit to the general trading company. What IBMC is suggesting, ask 2 months credit from their distributor or supplier. Even they were asking about 100% advance. That we are satisfying to the distributor or supplier by providing 2 months LC to the distribution company or supplier. Supplier will be happy to provide the product based on the LC to the SME company, and company will provide the product to the client. If client is providing payment within 30 days, this will be completed very fast. The issue, if delay is happening or payment fails, so what will happen? So SME company is saying that the two cases are coming up. The client is very, very important client to the general trading company. So the client is asking 1 more month, the extension, or 2 more months extension. What will do in that period? So their factoring, we are suggesting the factoring facility where factoring come with a premium and they will fund it to the system. And after 2 months or 1 month, the factoring company or bank will collect the money directly from the client. Second option, if they fails, we can take the all action of insurance party. So insurance company will come into that and they will take all action and payment will be done on time. So this is the entire system what we have designed in SME economy, that project. But definitely case to case is most important. Who all are approaching us, we are happy to provide all information after studying your projects and making your business much easier and professional way in UAE. So thank you. This is just overview only, and we a case-to-case basis, 2-3 things what I can provide as example. One catering company, and that case study what we have taken to, they are giving to their company, their one major manufacturing company, and more than 500 staff members are there. And they are providing, the food supply to the company, 500 staff members. That's at the rate of 450 dirham. So 450 dirham, this is on-time payment is happening, very good business. However, for increasing the volume, the catering company need working capital. So in this case, what we are trying to do that, so we will provide this facility to their staff members, 500 staff members. They knows that everything, this deal is happening professionally for the past 10-15 years. They are very much confident on that. Instead of going to the public, they are happy to enter into the system because they are getting a short-term benefit. Short-term benefit means 2 months' time. So this catering company is ready to provide 50 dirhams discount on that. So what is happening? The company, the manufacturing company employee is buying this. We are taking into a units. So we will create this as a 1 unit, 400 dirhams. So this catering company is ready to sell this as 400 dirhams, but he need the settlement date 2 months time. So here the manufacturing company employee is buying through this app. He knows about company and activities. He is very much confident on that and about this system also. He is buying this 1 unit at the rate of 400 and selling to the catering company at the rate of 450 because his company is buying at the rate of 450 from the catering company. So within 2 months' time, if he can able to take the profit of 50 dirhams, so what he is doing, he is transferring 400 dirhams and doing this buying and selling. So this trade is happening. He is buying this 1 unit at the rate of 400 and he is selling back to the same company at a 450. And settlement date is 2 months, second month end. He is ready. He knows that if he is transferring 400 dirhams, second month end, I will get back 450 dirhams. So whenever he is buying, that is VAT-related transaction. Whenever he is selling, that is also VAT-related transaction. So recordically, it is best practices coming in. Whenever he is transferring the fund, he is using the Dubai Trade platform for his fund transfer, where he is getting the confirmation. And this is reaching to the special purpose account, that is also fulfilling his requirement. So this is what one side satisfying the public level. On the other side, the catering company is very much happy because he can increase the volume. So second month, so he can search for another company, similar way for supplying. So their staff members are also ready for that. That is enough. So this is the one case study what I need to indicate. Second case study, I will tell you that one, the furnishing company, that's villa and topmost. He is having good network and friends, relatives. They are wealthy, but he doesn't want to ask money from his network. However, what he is saying that if his transaction is coming 5 million, so he need 5 million. So in that case, what he is saying that if I am indicating this to our friend circle, they will help me, and this is almost a protected transaction is happening. So he can approach them with this tool. Don't pay directly to me. You can use this tool that will help me, and they are ready to support. The third, one more, the funding kind of thing, the fund houses. One of the fund houses saying that they were pumping 10 million or 100 million directly to the market, where they don't want to directly pump into that. What they are suggesting, they will open one escrow account, and this fund will be at their bank account itself, and that can be used for the future transactions. That is also the what protected transaction system, and the limited period is also showing. This is satisfying 1 month to 12 months time. So this is what SME economy, and we are very much happy to support Ajman Emirate companies on a case-to-case basis, and also providing these opportunities to the working class and the other investors of Ajman Emirate. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Any questions?
Yes, of course. That is based on the contracts, how it is coming up with the service industry in the IT. Suppose if it is coming up, so that's based on the contract, we can able to do that. No issue. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. With this note, we are moving for the next presentation on the alternate investment fund and the most trusted investment route to India by myself. And post that, we'll be having the official announcement of the Ajman Sme Economy UAE. In fact, we were expecting a couple of guests from the chamber, but there is an official visit there. They're just next door only. And meantime, if they're able to make it up, we will do that. We'll just wait for a little more time. During the time, we'll be completing the next presentation as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Myself, Mr. Anup, officially the Executive Director of IBMC, and this presentation is about the new set of investment route that has been available in India right now. That is Alternate Investment Fund Route, AIF route, which is India's most trusted investment structure currently available under the regulatory authority, Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI. And IBMC is the independent investment managers to this particular fund. You can see that the fund sponsor is Samana Group, and IBMC is independent investment manager. Fund trustee is Vistra ITCL. Fund custodian is, fund auditor is Deloitte. Fund tax consultant is PwC. SBI Solicitor General is the fund accountants, and it's controlled by the Sharia Board of India. This particular structure fund was launched at Bombay Stock Exchange in India at the BSE floor by Mr. Ashish Chauhan, who is the CEO of Bombay Stock Exchange. And the international announcement was done at Emirates Palace in Abu Dhabi by the chairman of IBMC, His Excellency Sheikh Khalid. The media reach is already available with all the leading medias. The information is already out in the media and it is there. And the highlights here is that it's a 4,000 crores US dollar $575 million fund, which has been targeting in the 7 high growth potential sectors in India. And there is an opportunity for the global investors to become a part of the India growth story. And the details of the funds, it is available with the Securities and Exchange Board of India portal itself. And as I was mentioning, it's the first diversified Sharia compliant fund from India, and it's controlled by the Sharia Board of India. And the advantages when it comes to the AIF route of investment is it is permitted to invest in the 29 states in India, where India has a 1.3 billion population, and it is the world's 6th largest economy by GDP and the 3rd largest economy by purchasing power parity as well. And when the global investors are looking at it, India is a very attractive global destination right now, looking at the growth prospect up to 2050. And India is currently a 2.7 trillion economy, which in next 5 years, the government has put a target to make it a 5 trillion economy. And going forward, it is going to be a 10 trillion economy by 2032. So growth prospects are quite attractive in this region. And when it comes to the overseas investors for the investment in India, the key concerns are coming at the safety and security of the investment. And with that particular focus only, the AIF route was designed by the regulatory authority. There are more opportunities and funds in India's future growth theory. When it comes to the investment in India, there are direct government projects, public-private partnership projects, and private projects are available. And earlier, the problem with the direct investments faced by the investors was risky and limited opportunities, and other channels were not transparent. But whereas in AIF route, it's a regulated and structured route, new and transparent route available, diversified investment is possible, and all the 29 states across India is covered under this particular structure of investment. Now, with regard to this particular fund, which has already been launched in India, it is investing in 7 key sectors in India in hospitality, realty, healthcare services, IT, retail sector, life farms, and academy sector. And industry-focused IM investment committee has been formed, and there is an judicious advisory board chaired by retired Justice of High Court of Kerala, Honorable Justice C.N. Ramachandran Nair. And the most important thing with this kind of a fund strategy is that there is an intelligent investment strategy. The investment process and company selection criteria is very tight in that inviting the company for the project report, which is verified by the chartered accountants and domain industry expert. And there is a preparation of the investment manager's industry review report. Post that, the comparison with potential alternatives has been done. Then inviting the company for the interview, which is verified by the chartered accountant and domain industry expert. Then preparation of the Sharia report as per the Sharia board, and project final audit review by the investment manager's audit team, and project final compliance review by the investment manager's compliance team, and preparation of the final project review report by the investment manager. Then post that, the project investment approval by the investment management committee and advisory board. Then the fund transfer to this particular company is being happening. So even if a foreign investor is putting the money in this particular fund, even before this money goes to any particular project, all these 10 steps has been completed. So the due diligence part is quite strict in this particular AIF structure. And most important thing is that after completing this 10 steps, which is being duly verified by the compliance and audit team, before making any investment to any particular company, there is a 100% insurance coverage as well as a 100% collateral which is being taken. So post that only, the fund is getting moved to this respective project, which is giving the maximum safety and security level to the investors. And on top of that, when the collateral is being taken, there is an ROC charge coming to that respective property, which can be verified with the registrar of companies back in India. So it is a highly transparent and safe method currently available. And the class of investment which is permitted under this categories are national level companies, state level companies, stock exchange listed companies, multinational companies, public-private partnership entities, public limited companies, private limited companies, and LLPs and startups are covered under this investment horizon. And the general risk mitigation strategies available. It's more regulated and compliant fund setup. Best currency hedging strategies are in place. Best liquidity strategies considered for exit. Best post-insurance methods are there. frequent valuation of projects is possible, which is not available currently in many of the existing funds. Most trusted professional and best industry combination as fund drives, and best industrial and financial practice for investment management, and best market practices for sourcing investment companies with maximum controls. Then best investment model and diversification of 7 verticals from startups to listed companies is available. And in the current sector, as we're mentioning, like the industries covered are hospitality, healthcare, horticulture, reality services, retail, education, and information technology are being covered. And for this fund, currently there are 7 exit strategies available. There is a peer-to-peer investor unit transfer, company listing and fund exit is possible, company buyback option, listing of funds and IPO, sponsor buyback option, investor replacement options, and fund-on-fund switching is also possible for this particular fund. And the fund's jurisdiction is India. It is Regulatory Authority, Securities and Exchange Board of India. Category is Alternate Investment Fund Category 2. 7 years is a fund term, and investment duration is 5 years. Fund size is 400 crores, 4,000 crores, which is $575 million US. GP commitment is 5 crores, and drawdown is 25%. There is a hurdle rate of 14%, and carry is 20%. So the minimum investment for individuals, it is 1 crore, and for corporate, it is US dollar 15 million. So that is the information about the AF Category 2 funds. And in India, the momentum is really gaining right now. The AF structure has attracted maximum investment to India in the recent past, and going forward, this is going to be the most structured investment route to India, and it is a time for the global investors to look at this particular opportunity for a safer and secured investment to India. Thank you very much. May I request our CEO, Mr. Sajid Kumar, to kindly on the stage for the Ajman SME Economy launching. May I also request Mr. Ramesh, Mr. Pradeep sir, to kindly join us, Ms. Bhaskar sir, Mr. Arun. Harpreet sir, please come. We'll have the official announcement of UAE SME Economy, Ajman Emirate. Sir, please. Pradeep sir. The Ajman companies can now download the application from the Global Play Store, App Store, and they can start registering. The free listing is permitted right now in SME Economy Platform. Thank you very much, sir. With this, we conclude the session for Ajman Emirate today, and we'll look forward to meet you in the next program at Coin, followed by Fujara, Russell Khaimah, and concluding ceremony in Abu Dhabi at Emirates Palace Hotel. Thank you very much. Thank you.